Great inventions. What inventions do you know about? When you hear the word inventions, you may think of the Wright brothers' first airplane, but we use inventions almost every minute of the day. Here's an interesting invention. It's simple, but so useful. Imagine trying to cut without scissors. How about zippers? Zippers are on your clothes, your backpack, everywhere. What did people use before the zipper was invented? Inventions give us new ways to get things done. This boy made a model of a new way to heat our homes. Anyone can be an inventor. What ideas do you have for a new invention?
All right, guys, so we're not going to do like the full wonders activities this week, but I did want to go over just the weekly question for the week, and we are going to be talking about inventions this week. So I actually flipped this week and next week. So this was actually next week's lesson, but I flipped it to do it this week because I'm waiting for a book to come in so we could talk about next week. So I thought this would be great because inventions are really cool. And actually everything, if you think about it, everything was invented at one time or another. And so it's just kind of fun to think about the different types of inventions that have actually evolved or how inventors have made things better over the years. And so for this one, we have a picture here. This is Alexander Graham Bell, and he invented the first telephone. And if you look at that picture, boys and girls, I mean, think about telephones today. Like, we have cell phones now. We don't even really use landlines anymore. Landlines are like when the cords would connect to your walls. I mean, if you have a landline, I mean, those I don't even remember the last time I had a landline. I think I was in college. So, I mean, those things kind of evolve, and where inventors make things better, where they can take an idea or they can make it better. And so this is an example of something that's been made better, and that's the telephone. And so another invention, this is actually a camera. And so did you know that the first cameras were made out of wood? So this is a picture of a camera that was invented many, many years ago. This one says, how did people carry something to drink before juice boxes were invented? So, right, when you think about it, you're just kind of like, did people just carry their glasses around? Did they drink a lot of juice? I don't even know. So, I mean, we think about it, like even juice boxes are an interesting invention. And of course, the light bulb. It says compact fluorescent light bulbs were invented to save energy. So Thomas Edison invented the original light bulb, but then again, inventors over the years have improved upon the original invention to make it better for us. And so now we have light bulbs that can save us energy, which is really, really cool, whereas beforehand, they took a lot of energy. So we're going to be talking about inventors this week. Some inventions. We're going to read a story about Thomas Edison, and then we are also going to connect that. We're going to talk about an Eric Carle story too. That's more fiction, but it does have to do with inventions. So I wanted just to go over the vocabulary words and our sight words really quickly with you so that you understand what you're going to be working with this week. So our first vocabulary word is the word curious. And if you think about the word curious, the sentence says, I was curious about whales, so I read a book about them. So I want you to think about, what does it mean to be curious? If you're curious about something, it means you want to know about it. And so the video...
Curious. If you are curious about something, you are interested in it and want to know more about it.
Hey, I just said that. So when you're curious about something, you really want to know. And so for your gestures this week, you're going to be talking about curious. That's one word. The next word is improve. And we talk about improve. When you improve something, you're going to make it better. So like with the telephone, with the light bulb, with a lot of inventions, they're improved upon, where inventors come back and different inventors make the original design better. So when you improve something, you're making it better. So for the sentence for improve, it says adding cheese will improve the flavor of this dish. So if you're thinking about improve, you're making something better. So I'm going to improve it. I'm going to make it better. I always think of Caleb, like when he's playing with those Legos. He has an idea, but then he'll improve it and he'll make it a lot better. The next word is complicated. Now, complicated, I want you to think about that. If something is complicated, and think about that in terms of inventions, do you think that it's easy for somebody to invent something, or do you think that it takes a long time for these inventions to be completed? And so it says here, if something is complicated, it has many parts and is difficult to understand. So if we look at the example, we have Sarah. So Sarah tried to fix the broken clock, but it was too complicated. So there was a lot of things that went into it that she couldn't quite understand. So the video says.
Complicated. If something is complicated, it has many parts and is difficult to understand.
So I want you to think about, again, those examples of a time when something has just been too complicated. The next word, again, is device. And so think about like a device that you use at home. It says, Dad has a device that measures how much air is in the tires on the car. So a device is something that a device is an object made to do a certain job. So like a can opener, that's a great example. A can opener is a device. It's made to open cans, right? So the example with the device that measures how much air, that's a tire pressure. It checks the tire pressure on a car, or how much air pressure is in the car. And so I think the question, what devices could you use in the kitchen? That's a great question, because we use many different types of devices. Like we use, like blenders to blend food. We have mixers to mix food. We've got all sorts of different devices that we use all of the time. And the last word is imagine. Now, when you think about an inventor, you have to agree that they use a lot of imagination, because in order to invent something, you have to be able to think about it. And so when you imagine something, you think of something that isn't real or that hasn't happened. And a lot of us use our imagination for fun things. So it says, the example is, Nina likes to imagine she is a princess living in a castle. And that's how inventions begin, right? By using your imagination and being able to think about something that's not around, that could be useful, right? And so that connects back to inventions, because imagination definitely is key to inventing. So the question says, imagine riding on a flying carpet. What would that be like? So it's something just to think about. What would that be like to ride on a magic carpet? And imagine it. Along with our five vocabulary words, the center row, boys and girls, is our sight words for the week. So we have began, better, guess, learn, right, like I am right, and sure. And so these are words that we're going to, there'll be a few activities that have to go along with these words today, but you won't do a lot with the sight words. I just want you to be able to say them for sure. And then, so that's it for now. So we're going to be talking about inventions this week. I just want you just to keep that in mind. We're not going to be doing a ton of activities that go along with it, but I just want you to just think about the vocabulary, think about what these vocabulary words have to do with inventing, because they do connect really well to inventing and thinking about how we can improve upon things that we already have, and how we can just create things and imagine and create. And so we'll talk more about this a little bit later on. So have fun with this, guys.